like to welcome everybody out to our gathering today in our press conference. And we welcome the Warriors' first-round draft pick, of course, from Cincinnati. And my name is Tim Roy, who just dropped his pad. So from day one to right now, I've had one of the great jobs in sports, and that is to be the voice of the Golden State Warriors. And for the last 23 years, it's been one heck of a ride, and we know we're in this incredible run right now, and it continues through today. But we have a press conference to hold, and we are going to introduce everybody. And then later on, what we're going to do is we're going to have a little bit of a Q&A, and you will have a chance to ask some questions, those from the press. I want to thank our broadcasting partners, NBC Sports Bay Area, broadcasting live right now, and of course our flagship station, 95.7, The Game. Joining me on my right, Warriors General Manager Bob Myers, and of course Jacob Evans, the Warriors' first-round pick. When a player is drafted into the NBA, it's not just that player. It's also the family comes along too, because it's a family experience, and it's a family championship, if you will. So joining us today, Jacob's mom, Teresa, right down in front with us today. Family friend Chris Ferguson, his brother DeMarcus, from his agent's office, Adam Penzak, and from his team, Zvi Grossman. I got it right. So, and we welcome them here today to the Rakuten Performance Center as we welcome our newest Golden State Warrior. So I'm going to start with a couple of questions. First of all, how was your weekend?
Man, it was great. Thursday night was a blessing for me. I'm very thankful for Bob, Steve, and just the guys that believe in me and drafted me to come here and hopefully contribute to another championship.
So I have to ask about draft night because I'm always curious to find out how you found out and what was your immediate reaction. What were you doing?
Oh, first my manager Svi, he called me and he was like, "Golden State, that's where you're going." And I kept asking him. I was like, "Really? Like, I couldn't believe it. Just being able to come to an organization, one of the greatest organizations ever, probably the greatest team ever in NBA history, and just knowing I'd be able to be a part of something that's legendary. Then next, I got a call from Steve Kerr. He just wanted to congratulate me and welcome me with open arms. So we talked for a little bit, and he said one of my future teammates wanted to holler at me a little bit. I get on the phone, I'm like, "Hello," and it's Draymond. He's like, "What's up?"
Of course it was Draymond.
He is just saying how excited they are for me to get here, and he's gonna be on my butt from day one. I expect nothing less from him. So I'm excited to get things going and get this thing started.
I think Bob Myers could address that Draymond is now assistant general manager, but Bob, when reading Jacob's bio, he was a finalist for the Dr. J Award, finalist for the Jerry West Award, which means he's a finalist at two different positions. How important was that versatility when you're thinking about this selection?
We value defensive versatility, offensive versatility. It's kind of the modern NBA way now, which is great. But it all boils down to just being a basketball player. We try to complicate these things sometimes, but part of being a good basketball player is, one, most importantly, helping your team win, which doesn't get talked about enough. And then two, guarding your man and being an effective offensive player as well. And so for us, a couple things stood out in regards to Jacob. Not the awards, which are great to be honored and mentioned in those categories, but it's somebody that got a lot better. Looked like he had a great work ethic, serious-minded player, cared about both sides of the ball, and then you hear a lot of things that these potential draftees say when they're interviewed, but one thing he said was, "Before I'm done, I want to win a championship." I just feel like so much of all of this process, whether it's the draft or free agency, winning is the thing that gets lost more than anything. If you win, all we're trying to do is put up as many of those yellow, as long as we keep them yellow, those yellow banners. Nothing else matters. If we can draft a guy that helps us do that, then we succeeded, and I think we have one in Jacob.
First time in 3 years, by the way, we're not talking about the 38th pick. We moved up 10 to the 28th pick this year, so which is a good thing. But Jacob, what do you know about the Warriors, and what have you seen the last couple of years that excites you?
The fans, they've sold out 291 straight games over the past 6 years. Just knowing that I'm going somewhere where they want me, somewhere I could develop, just picking the minds, not just from my coaches, but from my teammates. You're playing alongside Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Clay, Draymond, just learning and trying to develop my game so I'll be able to contribute.
A lot of people in this room right now were at the parade when the Warriors celebrated another championship. And after the parade, most of us got to go home, but Bob and the basketball staff had to go to work because they had another workout to hold, and you were at that workout. So what was it like being here for you on the day of the parade?
Well, I stepped out of the hotel because they passed right in front of the hotel I was staying at. So I stepped out and just seeing how much joy and excitement that it brought to the city. Those things you'll cherish forever, the rest of your life. Something you can tell your kids about, your grandkids. And that's something also that no one can ever take away from you, that you're a champion. So just seeing that atmosphere, I was just thinking, how could I not want to be there, So I'm just excited to join a great situation.
Bob, we hear the term a lot of times on draft night of upside. What does that mean, and how would that apply, say, in Jacob's case?
Yeah, upside just means the ability to get better, which I think we all, me, you, everybody in listening or watching or sitting here has. It's kind of what do we do with it? And when we draft a player, we'd like to believe that they're going to get better, and they want to get better, whether it's Steph Curry or Klay Thompson or Draymond Green. I mean, if you're not getting better, you're probably getting worse. So in a guy like Jacob, he's already shown that he wants to get better. He's going to be put in an environment where when you're surrounded by people that are high achieving and hardworking, you can't help but get caught up in that momentum. So Jacob will see Kevin Durant working out on that basket, and he'll see Steph Curry over there and Klay Thompson over there, and he's not going to walk back and take a shower when guys that are a lot better than him are still working. So there's this culture that Steve has helped cultivate. There's a pride in what we do here, and all you have to do is be yourself. Don't be any different, and he'll reach his ceiling, whatever it is. And we have found a way here to put players in a position where they can hopefully reach that potential.
Well, the Warriors drafted a player out of Cincinnati back in the 1970s, and he helped the Warriors to a championship. His name was Derek Dickey, who unfortunately is no longer with us, but I'm hoping, Jacob, that path will continue for you. Right now, I'm going to open it up to our members of the media who are here today, and we're going to do it like a press conference, so raise your hand. We've got microphones on the side for you. Please state your name and your affiliation, and we'll try to get to as many as we can. Let's first go to Mark.
Jacob, Mark Medina, Bay Area News Group. First off, congratulations. Secondly, with Draymond Green specifically, what do you think that can do with your overall development, with the relationship you have with him and his obvious expertise and talent?
Just knowing that someone also there to push you, not just yourself, but also his love for the game is crazy. Is amazing. Being someone that does a lot of the little things to help this team win. And I pride myself on doing every little small thing to help whatever team I played for in the past help win. So I feel like me just keeping that role, keeping that mindset, I'll be fine.
Anthony Slater with The Athletic. Twitter's kind of crazy where you can go back and see stuff tweeted way back in the past. I know you in the past have rooted against the Warriors in a lot of situations, as a lot of people around the country I'm sure have. What has it been like, maybe your fandom in the past, watching this dynasty rise and then now being, on the side where you're part of it?
Well, I never rooted against the Warriors. I respect greatness, but just seeing this organization, where they come from the past couple of years, it's amazing. Just the development, the growth, and that's something that how could you not want to be a part of? And also myself, I want to grow and develop as much as I can, and being around these guys, I know it'll just help me reach my potential and reach where I want to go.
High school in Baton Rouge, were you a Pelicans fan?
A little bit, a little bit.
That's all right. It's okay. It's okay. You're now a Warriors fan. Yes, Janie.
Hi, Jacob. Janie McCauley from the Associated Press. Welcome. Have you signed up for an arena tour to go see the new building you'll be playing in, a year and a half from now or so, over in San Francisco? And how exciting is that? I mean, in terms of joining an organization that's winning and getting a new arena.
Well, I've heard it's supposed to be one of the greatest arenas ever in the sports world. So, I mean, I know the fans are going to bring it, so that's kind of all that matters. They brought it at Oracle. I'm pretty sure they're going to bring it at the new arena. But I'm definitely excited to see it and play in it.
Hi, Kareth Burke, NBC Sports Bay Area. When you come to a new team, you also set down roots in a community. What are your first impressions of the Bay Area?
The weather is very nice, Playing in Cincinnati, there's a lot of cold nights, a lot of cold days. But I got out a little bit, walked around yesterday. It's very nice, relaxable, peaceful, beautiful area, to be honest. It's just a great place to be.
Do we have any more questions? Yes.
Jacob Connor Letourneau, San Francisco Chronicle. Being a Baton Rouge guy, what's your relationship like with Damian Jones, who's from that area, and is it kind of nice having a familiar face on the team already?
Oh, well, Damian, he was a few years older than me, but I used to watch them play his high school team all the time. And just knowing that there's someone here that's from the same area, same kind of culture, background, it helps you just fit in, relax, be yourself, knowing that you have someone that you could turn to and just hang out with off the floor, or whether it's on the floor, he can just come over and talk to me if I'm having a tough day or something. So it's nice to have a guy from the same city on the same team, especially in the NBA.
Bob, how important is that to have some people around that will help a rookie, get settled and get comfortable in their first season in the NBA?
I think it's huge. I think that being placed in a situation that allows you to grow and is positive, as opposed to being somewhere that's detrimental, it can derail a career. We've seen it many times. So, yeah, obviously it's up to Jacob to see what kind of career he wants to have. But our job as an organization, players, coaches, front office, is to put him in a position to succeed. And we think, like any of us, if you're put in a positive environment that's had success, it should bring out the best in you. And we've seen that with a lot of our players. So we're fortunate. Again, he's going to be around so much more than myself is Steve Kerr and his staff of excellent coaches and the players. That's going to be his family, and I know you're going to love it. They will challenge you, but it's a high character group, and I think you're going to love being a part of it.
Monty Poole, NBC Sports Bay Area. Jacob, most of us have played basketball, and as we grow up as kids, there's certain players that we watch, 10, 11, 12 years old, maybe you see guys you enjoy watching. Who were your favorite players when you were a youngster, and who are your favorite players today?
Growing up, I watched a lot of Kobe Bryant, just because he was dominating the NBA around that time. But going through high school, you watch Kevin Durant, Steph, of course, even when he was in college. Clay, he developed a great NBA career, great shooter. Just a lot of guys. Because I try to take a lot of things from different players and just try to add it to my game. Try not to be just a one-dimensional player. Try to be able to do a lot of different things on the basketball court. So I watch a lot of different guys in the NBA and just try to add to my game.
Jacob, Janie
ahead,
from
Janie,
AP again. Along those lines, I mean, we're a little bit spoiled to watch Kevin and Steph shoot right on this court every day, and Clay over here. Has it really sunk in that those are your teammates now? And how excited are you to kind of watch and learn from them, and maybe even jump in on one of those shooting contests?
Well, I'm very excited. Like you said, they're great shooters, so I'm pretty sure I could learn a thing or two from them to help me shoot the ball better, or as well as them. But just knowing that the knowledge that they have, just try to pick their brains every day, whether it's on the court or off the court, just see how they carry themselves as multiple NBA champions. Just try to help myself develop.
Let's go over here to Logan.
Logan Murdoch, Bay Area News Group. Back to Draymond, how did that conversation specifically set the tone for what's expected of you and going forward and through this season and beyond?
Oh, just expecting I'm just come in and work hard. That's what I do. I work my butt off, work on my game every day, and just try to develop and grow as a player every day. And knowing that other guys are going to challenge me, or challenge myself, just learn from them every day is just going to help me be a good player in the league.
RC?
RC Davis, Warriors Radio, Warriors Sound. When did you realize that the NBA was an achievable goal? Was it AAU? Was it your first or second year at Cincinnati? When did you realize I can make the NBA?
Well, first it was just about making it to college. Wasn't really like ranked high or anything, so I just tried to just be as good as I could be. So I got to college, and I want to say my freshman, sophomore year, that's kind of when I saw that I have a chance to play in the NBA, and I just worked really hard as I've done since day one, and that's allowed me to be here in this situation, sitting here, being a member of the Golden State Warriors.
If I remember, Cincinnati's coaching staff spotted you at an AAU tournament late in the process, and you got on board with them. But no player gets to this spot, even getting right here, without support from family and friends. What did they do to help you get here?
My mom, just watching her work really hard. 3 kids, a single parent. It was tough, but she never told me I had to work hard for what I want. I saw it. She just showed it every day, going to work, coming home late, having to miss some of my basketball games, miss me from practice. And my brother DeMarcus, he sacrificed almost a majority of his life just to help raising me, whether it's picking me up from school, taking me to school, getting me from practice, making sure I wasn't acting up in school, and making sure I was respectful to my mom and everything. So their support has been a major key for me into getting here, and I could never pay them back as much as I want to, but they know that I love them dearly.
Grant Cohn, Santa Rosa Press Democrat. Bob, it seems for a young player, a young shooter, it might be tough not to be overly deferential to Curry, Durant, Thompson, tough to be aggressive. Why won't this be an issue for Jacob?
I hope it isn't an issue. No, I mean, the nice thing about those guys is I think that they enjoy the mentoring at this point in their career. So I've seen them interact with, whether it's Jordan Bell last year or McCaw or Damian. I mean, they actually get great satisfaction of seeing young guys develop. They've made their mark in the NBA, most of our players now, whether it's financially or individual accolades or team success. So I think they find joy in seeing young guys, and somebody mentored them, and they're reaching the stage in their career where they're going to be able to mentor somebody. And the first time he turns down a shot, they're going to tell him, shoot the ball. So it takes time, but I'm sure in Jacob's life, he's had to find confidence, whether it's proving he can play in college, proving he can play in high school. It's the same in the NBA. It's a pathway to it. But like I said, here, he'll get to learn from some of the best, and that's worth a lot.
Let's go back out to Monty Poole.
Jacob, most of us have seen the before and after picture of you when you got to Cincinnati, and then the way your body looked after 2 years. Simple question, how did you do that?
Well, for one, I got with my strength coach, Mike Rayfeld, and I told him that I want to change my body. He told me the first thing you got to do is change your diet. So you cut out sodas, juices, a lot of the high sugar things, no fried foods. Try to eat more vegetables and fruits. So I just tried to make a plan for myself and just stick to it. I knew I was dedicated to becoming the best basketball player I could be. I knew the weight room in my body would help. So just going in every day with a positive mindset, whether I knew it was going to be a tough day in the weight room, just knowing that eventually it'll pay off.
Let's go back over to Connor.
Jacob, what kind of went into the decision to declare for the draft, and what was that process like for you?
Well, I went home. After we lost in the second round of the tournament, being a competitor, I didn't want to go out like that. But sitting with my family, talking about it, we knew this was the best decision for me. Then I got right out to Vegas and got to work preparing for the combine and preparing for these workouts, and hopefully hear my name on draft night.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Jason Applebaum, KTVU Fox 2. Jacob, what's an obstacle maybe that you had to overcome to get to this point in your life?
In 2016, there was a massive flood in Baton Rouge. A lot of my family and friends, they kind of just lost everything. It was in August, and I was actually at home around that time with one of my friends, and having to leave his house and walk through water for like 2 miles. That kind of set it in that you could lose everything in literally a couple of minutes. So just knowing that I don't take this game for granted. You know, I'm blessed to be able to have the body I have and to play the game that I love, especially at a high level. So that was a mental step for me, just to overcome that, seeing the devastation around the whole city of Baton Rouge. Just kind of pushed me a little harder.
Yeah. Do you see potentially it's interesting, this is obviously a defending championship team, but they've talked about how they need the guy they draft to come in and play right away. Do you see a path right away to playing time? And then I'm curious how you think you might fit in offensively. Everyone talks about your defensive polish, but where you think you can fit in offensively?
On the offensive end, you see them move the ball. They just play basketball, read and react. If you're open, you shoot it. If you're not, you can pass it, drive it, try to create another shot. And that's what I feel like helps me on the offensive end, being able to do different things, not just being like a catch and shoot guy, but just trying to break down the defense, get another shot, whether it's setting a screen to get someone else open. Just every little thing in this offense, because all their guys are interchangeable. So I feel like just being versatile on offensive end will help me.
Next up, Mark.
Jacob, the Warriors have praised your basketball IQ a lot. I was wondering if you can take us through what the process you took growing up as a player to really formulate that and how you think it applies your rookie season with the Warriors.
Just growing up, I just tried to learn as much as I can about the game. I feel like if you're the smartest person on the court, you're the most dangerous person. And then it got to a point where everyone's athletic. So it's kind of like you got to use your brain more than your physical abilities. So I just tried to learn the game, whether it's from coaches at a camp or other guys in the NBA or that I've watched play growing up. It's just also watching a lot of film. So just trying to learn as much as about the game to help my game, I feel like helps me.
Is there one thing that you know you can get better at?
I would say shooting. Yeah, of course, you see Steph and Clay and Kevin Durant, they're three of the greatest shooters in the NBA. So seeing them every day at practice, that's something you know you got to work on.
In the back.
Yama Hazir, Crown 4 News. Jacob, welcome to the Bay. First of all, you're kind of in an unusual position for a rookie joining a team that's won back-to-back titles, likely the favorites to win it all again. What's the mindset as a rookie joining a team that's had this much success?
Just to come in, work hard, and just try to get those minutes and try to contribute in the minutes that you do get. But just coming in, working hard, working your butt off every day. You want to hopefully bring back another championship that they've done the past 2 years. So I feel like just come in, be myself, and just work really hard.
Once again, RC.
How did Coach Cronin prepare you to get to this stage?
Just
anything specific?
You said
anything specific that he at one point in college said, if you want to get to the next level, you're going to have to do X, Y, Z.
Being able to guard, just being able to guard different positions also. So the type of defense we play, we switch a lot. So just learning the different defensive rotations, different schemes, and also just learning a lot about the game. You can't expect to play in a league where you don't really watch much or know much about it. So just knowing the ins and outs of the game or how it goes is going to help me be an NBA player.
Our final question I'm going to give to Bob. Bob, looks like another busy summer league, just about ready to begin.
Yeah, well, when you have a workout the day of the parade, I guess that kind of says what the deal is, which...
Good problems, good
I
problems.
guess, but you'd like to stop for 1 second. Yeah, here we go. Draft was Thursday, and now we have free agency and Saturday night, so all he needs to worry about is playing basketball. These aren't your... Just play well, work hard.
Thanks to Bob and Jacob and all of you for your questions. Here's what we're going to break down and do now. We're going to have a photo op with his first and hopefully the only jersey he'll wear in the NBA, that of the Warriors, and also then we're going to break it down into group sessions. Jacob will stay here on stage, and Bob will go off to the side. So once again, thank you all for coming out today, and congratulations. Welcome to the Golden State Warriors.
Thank you.